What's up, world? Making another video, you know what I mean? I just feel like I gotta do this for y'all, you know what I mean? Not just me, not just for y'all, but for God too, you know what I mean? Because He put it on my spirit that He wanted me to do these videos because I've been going around trying to wake people up. And some people been receiving the message, you know what I mean? But I gotta reach as many people as possible, which is why I'm on the tube. So, let's see what we're gonna do this video about. This one is probably gonna be about my life. A little short background. Let's see. So basically, I kind of grew up in different religions. My mother, she's a Baptist. My father is Jehovah's Witness. And as I mentioned in one of my previous videos, I later converted to Islam. Well, let's see. Life was it was kind of strange, you know what I mean? Like, I had my good days and bad days coming up as a kid, but it was really strange, you know what I mean? Like, I felt like I had a purpose in my life that God wanted me to accomplish, but I didn't really know how to fulfill it. And why I say that is because I started having these strange dreams around the age of like 10, 9 or 10, where I would be like in my bed, and mind you, this is a dream, but I would be in my bed and like this strange force would kind of like grab me from my bed and like pull me from my bed into like a different part of our house where it wasn't like really any furniture in there or anything because we had just moved in there. Kind of like if you ever watch the Spike Lee movies, how he's like, when something weird happens, he'll be like on like some sort of conveyor belt thing and it's like pulling him and it looks like he's floating. It was kind of like that. And so it would pull me to a part of my room, to the part of the house, and I would get to like the part of this bathroom and there would be like this tall dark shadow waiting for me, you know what I mean? And like, I don't know if it was a demon or Satan himself, but I think it was probably Satan. And I take that as like a sign that he had it out for me from an early age because he knew that God had a special purpose for me in my life. Coming up, there was always like little altercations between like myself, my stepfather, and my stepmother. My parents split when I was like 2 or 3, and my step-parents have been in my life ever since I can remember. And like, we had our good days, but there was a lot of bad days too. I remember one time I was over at my dad's house because me and my sister would spend time with him on the weekends, and me and my stepmom, we would bump heads. And I remember, I'll never forget, like one day she told my dad, he's Satan's son. You know what I mean? Like, she hated me that much to say that I was Satan's son. And it's like, you're like, Jehovah's Witnesses claim to be like all good and righteous and stuff like that, but you're not supposed to be judging people. You know what I'm saying? Especially a kid. Like, why would you tell a kid that he's Satan's son? And I really wasn't a bad kid. Like, I didn't really bend well to authority. You know what I mean? And maybe that means I'm a leader. And I'm pretty sure the government knows that because like, I've been getting kicked out of school a lot when I was in from middle school all the way up to high school. I've been getting suspended so many times. I've gotten expelled, all that. But really wasn't a bad kid. I remember one time in middle school, I got suspended because I had a bag of hot fries in my locker, and we weren't supposed to have like food in our locker. And like, I guess somebody told on me, and the vice principal, his name was Mr. Petty. Pretty strange name for the situation, right? Anyway, Mr. Petty, he was like, "So, what happened? Did you have the hot fries in your locker?" I was like, "No." And then he was like, "Well, so-and-so said that you did." And then they opened my locker up and found them or something like that. And I got suspended. High school, freshman year, I was on the football team, you know what I mean? But that didn't turn out too well. I was always like a social person, but I didn't like stay in certain cliques. Like, you know, you got your jocks and your nerds and the cool kids, the bad kids. Like, I knew everybody, so I would just like talk to everybody. You know what I mean? I didn't stay to one clique. Um, Things was really turbulent at my mom's house. You know what I'm saying? And like we were bumping heads. I was smoking weed. I started at like 15 or 16. They found my bong. Things was really crazy. You know what I mean? So I ended up moving in with my father and lived with him for a little while. But I guess like to try and cope with the things that was going on in my life, I was still smoking marijuana. I was drinking now, like heavy, popping pills, hanging out with like different people that was gang banging and stuff like that. And I wasn't listening to my dad. He was like, stay away from those guys. You know, they're bad news. They be having parties and having girls at their house and all that stuff. And to me, it was cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a guy in high school. You know, I wanted the girls and all that. So I didn't listen, unfortunately. And it got to a head when one time I got kicked out of school for stealing. And, no, rewind. Before I got kicked out of school for stealing, my dad was like, you need to go to rehab or you can't stay here. And then I was like, well, I'm going to go back with mom. Bad mistake. So I go back with my mom. And things was pretty crazy, you know what I'm saying? Things was really crazy. And around 17, I took an oath to Satan. I looked up online how to sell your soul because I wanted money and power. And that was like the biggest mistake of my life, you know. And I'm still repenting for that. But what else? So after that, I got kicked out of school for stealing. And they found out that I wasn't zoned for that school anymore because I moved back with my mother. So I got kicked out around 17, and I didn't go back to school. So there was a friend of the family who was a ex-colonel, and this guy was like a Vietnam officer in the Vietnam War. Like, he had clout, you know what I'm saying? So he was helping me get into the Army. I was about to enlist in the Army National Guard. I took my ASVAB, passed that and everything. The Army wanted me to do what's called explosive ordnance disposal. If you don't know what that is, that's basically the guys that ride around in those big armored vehicles and they disarm IEDs and stuff like that. Like I said, when I was 17, I converted to Islam. So it kind of helped me, you know what I mean? Then after that, things just started getting really strange, you know what I mean? I started like doing research on the Illuminati and Freemasons and stuff like that. And then that's when I found out that my cousin is a Freemason. You know what I'm saying? He's like a politician or whatever. And I thought by joining them, I would be doing something good for humanity and I would be changing the world and I could do great things, right? No, I was naive. And I thought that I could change them, but, you know, in hindsight, I realized that I couldn't. So, what else? Fast forward a little bit, I moved. Me, my mother, my sister, and my stepfather moved from the house we were at to another house. And this is when things started getting kind of bad. A lot of people in the area, like in the city that I'm living in, they really on my line pretty hard. You know what I mean? Like, I had harassers and stuff like that. What I now know is gang stalking, but back then I didn't know that's what it was. I just thought it was a bunch of dumbass people trying to get their clout up off of me. You know what I'm saying? And what else? So, yeah, I'm in the city now, and I was doing a lot of bad things, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't realize that indirectly I was working for Satan because first it started out, I had started stealing, you know what I mean? Like, I was walking from my house one time and got to this church, and just like I wanted money, you know what I'm saying? I was like a dumbass. I didn't want to work for it the right way. So I'm thinking like, oh, maybe if I check this mailbox, I might be able to find some money and I could get that and I could like get on my feet and start hustling and stuff like that. So I found this check and it was written out for like $400. So I go to the check cashing place. I had my passport in my pocket, all that. So I go to cash it, and the what you call it, the check, the person that cashed the check, she saw that it was a forged check. So I'm sitting there like, I'm like hoping and praying it works, you know what I mean? And like something like, no, it's not working. You're going down, because it was taking like way too long. And I'm like, when I realized that I could be going down, I was like, let me get my passport back. Let me go, you know? And she was like, no. I was like, oh, you know what I mean? So police come in and arrest me, take me to jail. This is my first time getting locked up. I'm 18. And I'm like, oh, God, please, 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 God, help me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking to the cop all scared, like, man, what's going to happen when I go to jail? You know, is it bad? He's like, oh, man, it's like your first charge. You'll probably get released. I didn't believe him. I thought he was BSing me. You know what I'm saying? But I go in there. If you've never been to jail, they handcuff you to a bench, and you have to wait there until they're ready to process you. Then once you get processed, you get fingerprinted, and you take your pictures and all that stuff, all that good stuff, and then you got to sit in what's called a bullpen. So I sat in there for like hours and hours and hours. So I saw the commissioner, and the commissioner released me. So I thought it was good. No. Ever since that day, I had a criminal record. So it was like super hard for me to get a job. So it ended up making it so that I I didn't have to commit crimes, but I started doing more crimes to actually support myself. And then when I was 19, I had my first son, well, my one and only child. So yeah, I had to do something. So I started shoplifting. You know what I mean? Petty crimes to get money. Then I stepped it up to what's called car hopping, which is like you run up to like people's cars and you go in them, and whatever you see that's of value, you just take. I felt really bad about that. Then stepped up from that to burglary. Yes, burglary. And even saying it now feels really bad. So I ended up getting caught up doing burglary, you know what I mean? They arrested one of my associates and found a pawn ticket in my name. So that brought me down. And you know, FBI and them, they've been investigating me ever since and following me around. So what else? It's like my life has been so crazy. I got so many stories to tell you guys, and I don't even know like what order to put them in. So bear with me. So things started picking up really heavy. You know what I mean? Like the one thing that's coming to mind right now is the Freddie Gray thing. I'm in Maryland, by the way. So yeah, and Freddie Gray, if you don't know, he got killed in Baltimore, Maryland. But I'm in Southern Maryland. But anyway. I got some faggot gang stalker walking past, screaming and shit. But as long as they don't set foot on this property, they'll keep their lives. You know what I'm saying? They think it's a game. But anyway. So, Freddie Gray. Fucking faggots, man. I swear. They don't want none of this. Because I got a lot to give them. But anyway. Freddie Gray. He got killed, you know. And at the time, I was working at this furniture store. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought I was big balling. Had my nice little suit and tie, you know what I'm saying? Dress shoes, all clean cut and all. Making sales, getting money, you know what I mean? You know how it is. So anyway, in our furniture store, we had like this TV. And on the TV, I'm watching the news, and this is when the riots broke out. I was like, oh, crap. Like, this is serious. Like, I need to do something. So the Most High put it on my spirit for me to go to D.C. So I catch a bus to D.C. and I'm in front of the White House, and there was this guy who he was like a gimp. Not a gimp. Is that what you call him? He was like a crippled person in a wheelchair, and he had this poster about like the atomic bomb and what happened in World War II, like Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And I understood because I did a history project on that when I was in middle school, so I already knew all about it. And I knew it was messed up what they did. So I was talking to him about that, and next thing I know, a bunch of like Caucasian kids like just came up to me, and like I was surprised because it's like, why would you guys come up to me? Like, there's all these people out here, you know what I mean? Like, you got the White House, you know what I'm saying? Like, you taking pictures and all that, like, and I'm just one black guy, one tall black guy, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it was like 30 of them, like 20 or 30 of them, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, dang, like, I was on the spot, you know what I'm saying? But I was like, well, I came out here, so let's do it. So they're like talking to me, they're like, what are you doing out here? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, well, I just came out here because, you know, I see a lot of injustices and evil that's going on in the world and in the country, and I just came out here to protest, but nobody's protesting, so I just decided to come out here and just, I don't know, like, you know. So I started talking to them about, like, our government and how shady they are and wars that we're starting and how Satan is behind it, and, like, we shouldn't listen to him, and we should follow God and all that stuff, right? All that good stuff. And then I see this guy, you know, if some of y'all don't know, but the smart ones know, they got snipers and stuff around the White House. So I remember this guy, he came out the White House, they got like a stairwell, you know what I'm saying, on the top of the White House for quick access. And this guy, I guess he was a Secret Service agent or something, he comes out and he's on top of the building and he's looking at me through these binoculars. And like, I'm not an arrogant guy at all, you know what I'm saying? I don't gloat, I'm not prideful, but I waved to him. I was like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Just to let him know that I was watching, that I knew he was watching me, that, you know, I'm not no dummy, you know what I'm saying? So I'm still talking to the kids. And then next thing I know, guess who shows up? 2 Freemasons, you know what I'm saying? And I knew they were Freemasons because it was a black guy. He had the what's it called? The square and the compass with the G in the middle. They think they're gods or something. Anyway, he had that around his neck, and then there was like a Asian guy behind him, and he was doing his little signals and stuff. So I already knew what time it was, and they were giving me like the evil look. And like, the thing they didn't realize is that the reason why I was out there is to save their lives, to save their ashes. You know what I'm saying? And they thought it was a game. I was like, God is really pissed at you guys. And like, this is around the time like right after Freddie Gray got killed. I don't know if you know this. There was a huge earthquake in Nepal. Killed like over 7,000 people. You know what I'm saying? And like, it says in the end times, there's going to be a lot of earthquakes and famines and all types of crazy things, right? So I knew, like, the Most High was telling me that was a warning. Like, he didn't tell me, like, I didn't hear him tell me, but through the feelings I got and just everything that was going on, I was like, yeah, that's definitely a sign. So I was telling them, like, y'all need to be careful. Y'all need to stop killing people. And you need to tell your leaders that they need to cool it. You know what I'm saying? Because things are going to start getting bad. Like, God is going to start letting y'all know what time it is. And they thought it was a game. You know what I'm saying? They really thought it was a game. Or maybe they thought that I was trying to bring them down, or I don't know what the hell they thought, but they have no idea what they're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? They have no idea. Just like when Moses went to Egypt and he was telling Pharaoh, let God's people go. You know what I'm saying? And Pharaoh thought it was a game. He thought it was all a game, right? Frogs plaguing his city. You know what I'm saying? The locusts eating up the crops. Locusts all over the place. You know what I'm saying? The angel of death coming into people's houses and taking people out. You know what I'm saying? He still thought it was a game. If I was Pharaoh, I would have been like, man, take your people, man. I don't want no problems. Take them. You know what I'm saying? I want to keep my life. I want to keep my little city intact. You know what I'm saying? Whatever power I got, I want to keep it for as long as possible. That's how I know, like, I'm glad I'm not a bad guy no more, but I would have been a smart bad guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is crazy. So it took Pharaoh's son being killed for him to finally get the message. And even then he didn't get the message because he chased the Israelites down and lost his life and all his soldiers' lives. And that's why Egypt got taken over by the Greeks, if you don't know that. And before that, I don't know if you know the story of Joseph, the one whose brothers left him in the pit. And then some like herders came and found him and took him back to Egypt. And what was special about this man, and I love this story, is that he was having visions from God. And he had this one vision where there was like seven cows, 7 fat cows and 7 skinny cows. You know what I'm saying? Which like meant that they were gonna get hit with a famine. And this guy, like the pharaoh that he told was a smart guy. You know what I'm saying? Because he listened. He like when he heard, he was like, "Oh man, like this dude is a man of God. Like he's getting visions and all that. Let me listen to this guy because I want to save my life and my people's lives, and I want to keep my power." He was a smart one, and who knows? He probably went to heaven. I don't know. But anyway, so after I left the White House, I'm walking back to the little area to catch my bus back to Southern Maryland. And guess who comes around the corner? The Asian Freemason. You know what I'm saying? What a coinky dink. You know what I mean? Like, they telling themselves so much. And that's the funny thing about Satan. He's so arrogant that, like let's say when you're playing poker, right? You know how they say, like, you got a poker hand or whatever? You're never supposed to let people see your hand, because if they know what your hand is, then they can, like, they know what to do to win the game, right? And it's like the evil ones and Satan, they're so arrogant and dumb that they always show their hand. And it's like every time they show their hand, it lets me know that I'm on the right path. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was making this video just now and I said there was like a little creep ass dude walking down the street, you know what I'm saying? Yelling and shouting at me and stuff. You know, like, you showing your hand, bro. You just let me know that I'm doing the right thing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to keep making videos now. Like, you're stupid. You know what I'm saying? So after that, come back down, you know what I'm saying? Chilling. And next day, I'm at work. And I would go into detail as to what happened, but I lost my job. I got fired. Obviously because somebody in the government made some phone calls and got me fired. So the day that I lost my job, I was telling my boss, like, man, come on, you don't gotta do this, man. Like, is it really worth it? Like, because I already knew why they were firing me. I was like, man, don't fire me. I need this job. He didn't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? But maybe he was just scared. There's a lot of cowards out here. You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of them are turning on us, because they're cowards. But anyway, he gave me like $600. You know what I'm saying? When really I was supposed to get $1,200. You know what I'm saying? That's how wicked these people are. Cheating me out of $600. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I really wanted to, I would have like pursued it. But it's like, what's the point? Like, even if I do get the money, I don't care about the money. It's just the principle. Like, you're not supposed to cheat people like that. So the Most High put it on my spirit again to go to California. So I go to DC, Union Station, you know what I'm saying? And caught a bus to LA. And when I tell you these guys follow me from DC all the way to LA, which is like roughly 2,000 miles, they followed me those 2,000 miles. You know what I'm saying? And like, I got to LA and it's like, I was trying to like get connected with certain people so I could like get established out there. Not established in the sense that like, oh, I'm trying to get clout so I can get money and all that. Like, no, like just so I can survive, just so I have a place to lay my head at night and I can have like some pocket change to eat. And, you know, if I need to get some clothes if I need and a place to stay so I can wash my ass. You know what I'm saying? So there was like some white guys at the station in LA. I'm like in the heart of downtown LA. You know what I'm saying? Like, not like we're like, I don't even know where I was at for real, but I know it was like downtown. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of like white guys at the station, and like we all rolling J's, smoking. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like talking to people, meeting people. You know what I'm saying? So I linked up with this one guy who was like ex-military, I think. I didn't take the hit. You know what I'm saying? He was probably one of them. But anyway, linked up with him. And we're chilling, you know what I'm saying? Like, they got like these light rails out there in LA. And we're like riding around through the city. And we hit Long Beach. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, Long Beach, isn't this like where Baywatch is at and stuff? Like, I'm like, oh man, like, this is cool, right? So we're on the beach just chilling, kick back. smoking a bowl, you know what I'm saying? Taking in the scenery, you know what I'm saying? Went to like this Spanish restaurant. I love Spanish food, by the way. You know what I'm saying? We had the Spanish restaurant. I forgot what I got, like some burritos or something. He got something else. We sipping on brews, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh man, it's the good life. Yeah, right. So go back to the station because we didn't really have nowhere to stay. So we was planning on sleeping at the bus station. So we get back, and the only reason why we was allowed to get back in is because we kept our stubs from our trip. So they thought that we was catching a bus. So we get in there, and the dude, he was like, "Yeah, man, I'm hungry." I was like, "You don't got no money?" He was like, "No." So I had some dollars on me. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have a whole lot, but I had enough to support myself for a little while. So I was like, "Sure, man." Gave him $5. He goes and orders his food. And his food came out to be like five and some change, or like $7 or something like that. And I didn't have no change. I didn't have no ones. All I had was like 20s and 50s and stuff like that. So I was like, man, I was mad. I was like, man, give me the $5. So he gave me the $5 back. I paid for his food with the 50, broke the 50, and he was eating. And like while he was eating, I didn't mean to be rude about it, but I felt like pressured. I felt a lot of stress because I'm like, man, I'm out here. I don't have nowhere to stay. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I'm supporting somebody else. I'm supporting a grown-ass man. You know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't cool. We can't be doing this. So I'm like, man, we can't keep doing this, man. Like, I don't have that much money. Like, you're sucking me dry. We got to come up with some plans to get some money. You know what I'm saying? He didn't take too kindly to that. He rolled out on me, like, right after. And I'm like, yeah, he was one of them. You know what I'm saying? That's messed up. Like, bro, I'm giving you money. I'm chilling with you. I'm trying to parlay with you. And then you just roll out on me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's whack. So, I'm going to short the story a little bit. I ended up meeting this girl. You know what I'm saying? She was really cool. We caught a bus to San Diego and stayed with her for a little while. But I got cold feet because I knew that I had a court date I had to go to. And I didn't want to be an outlaw, a fugitive. Like, I didn't mind being a fugitive, but it's like, I met this girl and she's like really cool. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to be out here in California and the law picks me up. And then, like, it just ruins everything with me and her. So to try and preserve our relationship, I called my mom, let her know where I was at. And she got me the next plane ticket back to D.C. Probably one of the biggest mistakes in my life. So, let's see. Ever since then, I've been out here just surviving, you know what I'm saying? Like, I had people pull guns on me. I had people pull knives on me, try and kill me, try and hit me with their car. All types of crazy things. Oh, and I forgot. You know, this is like, the story is like, I'm hitting different time periods, but before I went to California, it was like a day or two after I went to the White House, I was at the local McDonald's. And these two white guys come in, you know what I'm saying, around my age. And it's like, the Most High gave me the gift of discernment. Like, my discernment's not really good, but it's like good enough. You know what I'm saying? So I knew that these guys were like on to me. They were like doing surveillance or doing some sort of weird government shit. So they like came over, started talking to me. And we were talking, and I was letting them know, like, yeah, like, what time it is. That we don't have much time left, and God's not happy. He's pissed. And like every time I mentioned God, these guys, like, I knew they were evil because they would bring up like partying and doing drugs and having sex with girls, and I'm like, yo, like, that's disrespectful. Stop doing that. You know what I'm saying? They kept doing it and kept doing it. Then I started telling them, like, I had this dream where I was in a place I didn't want to be, and somebody had stole my possessions, my belongings, and I was going out. It was like a field, and here go my little gang stalkers again. Bunch of little cowards, man. Man, they're not gonna learn till they all start getting killed by God. It's pretty sad, but maybe that's what's gotta happen. So anyway, this guy, he took my possessions. So I'm walking in the field. You know what I'm saying? It was weird. And this is literally what I told these guys. I think they were like FBI agents. They were like around my age. And like, I was like, yeah, I'm walking in the field and I seen my old gym teacher from high school. You know what I'm saying? And then I seen the dude that stole my stuff. And like, you know how you got the demon on this side and the angel on this side, and they're talking to you, telling you what to do. You know what I'm saying? It was like that. And like, I guess the bad voice was like, man, confront him. And then the good voice was like, nah, man, leave him alone. Just leave him alone. So I listened to the good voice, and like, I just, all of a sudden I felt like really peaceful and happy. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, my lips are ashy. I don't care though. So then like, I felt real peaceful and happy. And then I looked up at the sky, and then I seen a huge asteroid, right hand of God. I seen a huge asteroid or a comet coming down from the sky, and it was streaking like black smoke behind it and fire and all that stuff. And then it boom hit the earth, and like, I was really happy because I knew I was good with God. So like, it was nothing to fear. So like, when it hit the earth, it was like this huge impact, and then I woke up. You know what I'm saying? And then like, after I told them that, they got really scared. Like, they got scared for real. And then they was like, you don't know who's going to kill you. Then they rolled out. And I got really mad. I was like, man, I want to confront them. Like, who they think they talking to? Like, do they not realize that they can bleed and die too? I should let them know what's up. You know what I'm saying? But good voice. Didn't say nothing. So I leave the McDonald's. And like, in our area that I'm in, we have a local mall that's right by the McDonald's. So I'm walking, it's nighttime, mind you, and I get to this like mulch mound, you know what I'm saying? And like, it's so strange. Like, I walk up on a mulch mound, I'm standing on it, I'm looking up at the sky like this, praying and talking to God, you know what I'm saying? And what do you know? Guess what I saw? Thousands upon thousands upon thousands of these white lights. Some people would call them white saucers, but I think they were like angels or something. You know what I mean? And they were huge, and there was thousands of them. And they were like, not just in the sky chilling. They were chilling, but they were like in a battle formation. If you don't know what a battle formation is, it's like you arrange yourself in a tactical position. You know what I'm saying? When you're ready to attack your enemy, you're in a certain formation that gives you an advantage, a defensive and an offensive advantage. They were in a battle formation. You know what I'm saying? And they were letting me know that if these cowards decide to kill me or do anything to me, there's going to be hell to pay. They got my back. You know what I'm saying? They're like my big brothers. They're watching out for me. The angels and Jesus and God, you know what I'm saying? They're watching out for me, because I could have been dead. I should have been dead multiple times over and over, and I'm still here for a reason. You know what I mean? And it's crazy because like, I know that God was telling me that he'll fight my battles for me, because I remember I had this one dream, and like, I was in a car, you know what I'm saying? But I wasn't in the driver's seat. I was in the passenger seat, and I had like a revolver, some sort of pistol in my lap. And like, I saw my enemies. They were walking. They had like capes on, like black robes with hoods on. Like they was about to do some sort of ritual or something. And they were walking in the line. And I grabbed a pistol, and I opened up the door. I'm about to start shooting at them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was gonna take them out. And like, as soon as I opened the door, before my foot hit the ground, the car literally caught on fire. And like, this was not your average fire. Like, this was a serious fire. Like, it was a powerful fire, and the flames were huge, and it scared the crap out of me, to the point where like, I woke up screaming. You know what I'm saying? I woke up screaming, and I took that as a sign also. Don't kill nobody, because if you do, you're gonna go to hell. And it's like, it's so serious. And like, these people out here, like, they've been trying to force my hand. Like, I almost killed like a couple people already. And instead of killing them, I fled the scene, you know what I'm saying, and called the police. You know, some people may call me excuse my language, because me and God know that I don't like cussing. But it's like, literally people out here call me names like bitch and pussy and faggot and stuff like that. I know what I am. I know I'm none of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm a warrior for God. I'm meek, but don't get it twisted. You can lose your life messing with me. You know what I'm saying? You really can lose your life messing with me. And it's like they've been trying to force my hand. And I noticed some strange things going on. Like when they try and force my hand, bad things start happening to people. You know what I'm saying? Like some of them get stabbed. Like this one guy, I was chilling with one of my ex-associates. You know what I'm saying? Like all we used to do was just smoke and hang out. And like he dropped me off at like I guess a 7-Eleven by my house because I think I was getting something. I was gonna get something, so I got something from the 7-Eleven I think, and I'm walking. I wasn't going home. It was nighttime. I'm walking somewhere. I forgot why I was even walking in that direction. And then like I know guys talk. It's like an angel that's like talking to me or something because like I just had this feeling like turn around and go back. So I turn around and go back, and I'm listening to my music. I got my headphones in like I got now, and like. I sensed something. I sensed like a force coming up behind me, like something creeping up behind me. You know, you got that feeling when like somebody's watching me, or you know, somebody is behind me, or something like that. I turn around like that, and there's this cat, not a cat. When I say cat, I mean this dude, creeping up behind me. You know what I'm saying? Like you trying to do something to me. And like when I seen that, I reached in my pocket for my knife. I'm like, oh no, you're not about to get me, bro. You gonna lose your life tonight. You know what I'm saying? So I'm fumbling for my knife, trying to get it out. You know what I'm saying? Boom, I got the knife in my hand. He was like, you don't know, you don't recognize me? Because he had a ski mask on or something. So I know he was plotting on doing something. So he took his ski mask off. And I was like, oh yeah, it was you? And then I'm like, you're a dumbass. Why would you even let me know who you are? You know what I'm saying? If I want to take you out now, I know who you are. Well, I didn't have to do that because he got his ass stabbed up. Somebody stabbed his ass up, him and somebody else that I know, like not too long later, and they got flown out to the hospital by medevac. What else? Somebody, around the time I was Muslim, I was talking to this girl, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, we did our thing, we made love or whatever. And, one of the guys that I knew, he's supposed to be Muslim too. He didn't like that. You know what I'm saying? He was a hater. So he let me know. He was like, he didn't say directly why he was mad at me, but I knew why. And he wanted to fight me. So we had this parking ride, you know, a local bus station. So it's like, he wanted to fight me. I'm like, bro, I'm not fighting you over no girl. You know what I'm saying? I'm bigger than that. I'm better than that. I'm not going to fight you over no girl. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, we're Muslims. Not only are you not supposed to be fighting over a woman, that's not yours, mind you. You're not supposed to be fighting your own Muslim brother. You know what I'm saying? So like, put your hands up. And mind you, I had weapons on me and all that. I'm like, nah. Put your hands up. Nah. Boom, he hits me. You know what I'm saying? I went like that. Like, I got the impact, but I didn't feel nothing. Like, it didn't really hurt. Like, he hit me pretty good because he was like a boxer or whatever, ex-boxer. So, like, he hit me, and, like, but I didn't really feel nothing. He hit me again. Boom. I fell down, and I rolled down this hill. And then one of the people that I know, you know, around the way or whatever, he got him because the dude started kicking me. He grabbed him and was like, nah, man, get off of him. Get off of him. Leave him alone. So I get up, brush myself off, kept it moving. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm so cool, man. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm not trying to brag enough, but yeah, like, I give people passes a lot. I don't know why, but I do. So I'm walking, cop flying past me. Flying past me, going to the scene, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know what happened with him. I think he got away with that one. But it's not funny. But this is how it works. Like, later, I was like reading the newspaper, you know what I'm saying? Because like our local newspaper, they have like different crime reports and stuff like that about what's going on. And I saw that they said a gang of males, black males, had beat up this elderly man, like this elderly Caucasian man who was doing his newspaper routes. And I'm like, wow. And they said that like they beat this guy almost to the point where he died. Like like a gang of them just beating him, you know what I'm saying, robbed him and took his car, I think, and some more crazy stuff. I'm like, man, like, that's crazy. Like, what a bunch of cowards. Like, who beats up on an elderly man who's just doing his paper routes? You know what I'm saying? So later, I found out who it was. It was a guy who punched me in my face over the girl, right? Well, guess what happened to him? He ended up getting like 18 years for that because they literally almost killed that guy. So he got like attempted murder charge. So he's in prison right now, and he's not gonna get out for at least like 10 years. You know what I'm saying? So it just goes to show that you don't always have to fight physically. You know what I'm saying? It just goes to show that at the end of the day, God's in control. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to think what else I could talk about, but, you know, it's been like, 40 minutes and 50 seconds. So I think I'll end this video, you know. This is so crazy. I got so much more I got to tell you guys, and this is only part 1. Stay tuned for part 2. Peace.